In our reality, we have to be able to discern between light and dark. It's really important. And let me tell you a story about Belgium that broke this week. And it's a pretty dark story, but it's important to talk about these things because we have to recognize the dark too, even if it is within our governments. But let me first tell you the story. In a city in Belgium called Kortrijk, there were two cafe bosses that gave drugs to the women that they wouldn't remember what happened for a few hours. And then they raped and abused them and they left them on the street. So the police closed in on them, found out that it was two cafe bosses doing this. And there's already 41 women that came forward. There's probably a lot more because people are ashamed of this stuff because they think they drank too much and it's their fault. You know, this is really dark because this is giving drugs to people, to the girls and to the women, to cover up your crimes, to make them forget. That's some really, that's really dark and criminal behavior. It's consciously engaging in these evil acts. And it's a shock to that community in Belgium, but what will be an even bigger shock when it gets out on a more massive scale is that the same things have been happening within governments on an organized scale, which is mind control. And even in Belgium in the 70s, as per the testimony of Anneke Lucas, a former Belgian minister was involved in this stuff, where in Kortrijk, in that town, where people go out, it was just these two people. But within the governments, it's on a much more organized scale. They torture and abuse people and kids to mind control them, to make them have amnesic barriers in their brain so they would forget the things they are told to do for these special, black government projects. So it's basically the same thing, but on a much more evil and organized scale. And this is why we have to be able to discern between light and dark in this reality. And doesn't mean we have to be paranoid and we have to see the dark everywhere, because there's a lot of light. But we have to be streetwise. We have to be able to discern and know and not be naive. And we have to learn that this is not only, between the common people, so to speak, the non-elite people like we had in Kortrijk, but also in the higher levels of our society, where it's actually, if you get to the highest levels, it's endemic. And it's on a much more organized and even scientific scale. There's a lot of science behind this mind control to make people forget even what they're doing. You can have like a Manchurian Candidate, for example. I think about the killing of John Lennon, where his murderer afterwards said he didn't even remember doing it. So we have to know that these things exist to become more streetwise, to be able to discern between light and dark. That's really a quality we need to have if we want to have that spiritual maturity moving forward in these times. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.